Those are back-to-back games. You couldn't be happier. Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And boy, doesn't it feel good to be doing another one of these videos after a Bears win? Boy, does it feel so good. Bears win on the road in Vegas, 20-9 over the Raiders. They improved to 3-2 on the season. And I got a lot to say about this game. Bears get a much-needed W before next week. But before I get into this game, make sure you guys leave this video a like. That does help this channel to grow tremendously. If you have not already, make sure you click that subscribe button and notification bell, because I do these Bear reaction videos, I do these Bear preview videos, and I do different types of videos throughout the course of the NFL season. So if you guys are interested in those videos, make sure you click that subscribe button and notification bell so you will not miss a single video. But let's get into this Bears victory. Without further ado, stab into it.
I'm striving to get rich. That's why I always went 2 years without buying shoes and fits. Things change now. My mom hearing me with my music and she look a little proud.
The biggest headline and the biggest storylines coming into this game for the Bears was everything on offense. What were they going to do at the quarterback position? Was it going to be Andy Dalton? Was it going to be Justin Fields? We learned it was going to be Justin Fields. What we take away from this game, and the main thing I wanted to talk about in this game, is that this defense is becoming elite. This defense is starting to have some reminiscences of the things that we were doing in 2018, as far as getting after the quarterback, as far as creating turnovers, making things happen. This defense is starting to remind me of that 2018 defense, especially coming in and get against the Raiders offense that has been very good throughout the first 4 weeks of the season. And Derek Carr has been playing some really good football this year. And one of the keys that I had coming into this game for the Bears defense was you have to get after Derek Carr and get him off of his spots. And the Bears did that very good today with Robert Quinn getting some pressure. He may not have necessarily got sacks, but pressure, Derek Carr. And they did a really good job of it. Khalil Mack showed out against his former team. 2 sacks, and he had a sack on a 2-point conversion. Now that's not going to count towards this actual stat sheet. That was a big play in its own right, especially it was a 14-9 game and they get a 2-point conversion. The Raiders cut that to 3. Khalil Mack made the big play when it was necessary. Your big players step up at the big times and the big moments, and Khalil did that today. Had a very good game. The linebacker core, Roquan, had a very good game. Danny Trevathan had some plays. And for the most part, they were able to limit the effectiveness of Darren Waller, and they were able to limit the effectiveness of Josh Jacobs, who coming into this game was fully healthy. He missed weeks 2 and 3 due to injuries. He came back week 4, didn't look the same. And coming into this game, he was saying to be he was at his best health-wise all season. The Raiders' offensive line was not very good, and the Bears took very good advantage of it, and they were able to get after Derek Carr. They were able to limit some things in the running game. Now, the big killer for this Bears defense today, it wasn't themselves as far as their play, it was the penalties that really killed the Bears. You had 2 on Mario Edwards. You had 1 on Roquan Smith. Well, it was maybe a little bit questionable as far as the hit over the middle in the end zone. But Mario Edwards has to be smarter. He has to be smarter than that, especially with throwing down Josh Jacobs. It clearly was after the whistle. You have to be smarter than that in those situations, because those can cost your team points. They had some big key 3rd down stops. The Bears had some big 4th down stops on this Raiders offense. This defense has started to become absolutely special. We didn't hear much of Jalen Johnson because, quite frankly, he really wasn't this way thrown to very much. The Raiders tried to take some deep shots. They had one to Edwards, which he dropped. They had another one which they kind of got where Darren Waller was a little bit of a blown coverage. But for the most part, this defense showed that it's becoming a very elite defense, and Sean Desai is bringing some of that 2018 vibe back to this defense. And Kendall Vildor, he was one I was kind of questioning going into this game. He had a very solid game. Kendall Vildor had a very solid game today. Gibson was back, made some tackles. Eddie Jackson, for the most part, made some plays. So this defense did its job, especially against the Raiders offense that was averaging over 350 yards per game coming into this one. The Raiders offense was really clicking, and it was really a second half team mainly for this Raiders offense. In the most part, the Bears were able to really limit them in the second half, because even with the 14-0 lead at the half, I wasn't really too satisfied. Well, 14-3. I wasn't really too satisfied as me knowing that the Raiders are a very good second half football team. And the Bears were able to do their part on the defensive side of the ball and were able to limit the Raiders' effectiveness, which helped a big time, especially with the Raiders not being able to control time of possession and the Bears winning the time of possession, which I think was a big key to keeping this defense fresh and on the field and able to get after Derek Carr and able to make those plays that they needed to make to throw Derek Carr off of his rhythm. Because I always say, once Derek Carr is thrown off his rhythm, this whole entire trajectory of the Raiders offense changed, and that happened today. And that was a big, big key for the Bears getting this 20-9 victory in this contest. Now, switching things over to the Bears on the offensive side of the ball, the Bears kind of kept the same approach as they did last week and be physical up front with the running game and was able to be methodical as in sustaining drives with running the football. Khalil Herbert got into the lineup and stepped up big time. Damian Williams was able to come into the lineup and step up big time. As we remember, the last time we seen Damian Williams in a full type of role was 2019, and he was a big, big part as to the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl that year, and he was close to even being a Super Bowl MVP himself with the game that he had. So Damian Williams came in and showed why the Bears picked him up in the offseason, and he was in, and he was effective. And Khalil Herbert started to do a little bit of that David Montgomery thing as in being physical, being able to make those cuts in the holes, breaking some tackles. The Bears' running game was extremely effective today. That was another key in my preview video, is the Bears are going to have to find a way to kind of collect some production that the loss of David Montgomery had. And today, the Bears offense was able to do that. Now, we did see them try to incorporate a little bit more of Justin Fields as far as the running game goes, but I think some of those run calls were kind of called at inopportune times, especially on that 3rd and 5, where I think the Bears should have gotten more points as far as touchdowns go. And I know they were trying to methodically clear the clock and get some points on the board to add to their lead and have the Raiders try to play catch up, but I just felt that if you were able to get 6 on that drive, I think it would have really put the football game away, especially with the Raiders being a second half football team. So it was a little bit conservative as far as the play calling goes, but they did not deviate from their identity, and I can give them kudos for that, because the identity of this Bears offense all season has been running the football and being physical up front. Now, as far as the pass protection goes and as far as the passing game goes, I think once Justin Fields starts to get more reps, once Justin Fields starts to get a little bit more comfortable with Laser, a little more comfortable with his receivers, a little more comfortable in the offense itself, I think you will start to see the passing game start to go up, up, and up. But as of right now, why deviate from what has been working, which is running the football and be very, very physical? Now, one criticism, and I think this is the biggest criticism that I have of the Bears offensive line, is they have to be better in pass protection, and they have to be better at, number one, recognizing those 3rd down blitzes that teams have been bringing. The Lions brought last week, the Raiders brought this week, and they have to be better at picking up some of those blitzes, because for the most part in that first half, Justin Fields was getting hit after hit after hit, and that can spell a problem going forward. Now, me watching Justin Fields at Ohio State, he was taking some of those hits, and he proved even more today how tough of an individual that he really is, especially coming back after that knee injury, which, in my opinion, it did not look good. I was really worried, especially the way his knee buckled like that. But for Justin Fields to come right back in the game, and he showed his absolute toughness, something that I've seen personally with my fandom of Ohio State and him taking shots there. The shot he took from Abrams, if you go back and you watch that clip of the shot he took against Clemson last year in the college football playoff, those two shots look very, very similar as far as him taking those hits and where he took that hit. It gave me very close reminiscence of that shot that he took in Clemson last year. And a little bit of the knee injury. Go back to 2019 in the Team Up North Michigan game. It was almost a very similar thing to that. He came back from those two in one single game. That just shows how tough Justin Fields is. Now, Justin Fields and his offense, I think, can play a little bit better in the passing game, but the Bears didn't really call a big, heavy dose of the pass game, which is actually a recipe for success right now, but that's later on down the road going forward. But this Bears offense, I said in my preview video, would be doing just enough to squeak out a victory. Just enough to squeak out a victory. I didn't see the Bears being this big, explosive offense. They didn't take advantage of the suspect Raider secondary like I would have thought they would, or like I would have expected them to take advantage of this suspect Raider secondary that was dealing with injuries to Monell and Damon Arnett. For the most part, Darnell Mooney was able to get open, and Allen Robinson made some plays, and we finally seen Justin Fields' first career touchdown pass. I was waiting on this moment for the longest. We finally got it today. Damian Williams going to rush and touchdown with an excellent spin move to get into the end zone. And those were our touchdowns today. Cairo Santos missed the automatic on the field goals in the special teams game. Jakeem Grant, I wanted to touch a little bit on that. It's proven to be why the Bears traded to get him. He does add a different element to your special teams with his speed and his ability to make some things happen in the return game. And, of course, the injury to Montgomery pushed Khalil Herbert to the running back position, which is a really solid position for him. So, overall, the Bears' defense is showing to reach that elite status. The offense still has some work to do in the passing game. Even though the running game was very, very good today, the Raiders' defense, I've said that in my preview video as well, is they get a little bit more credit than what they actually deserve, because they're, in my opinion, when you watch the Raiders' defense, if their pass rush is not getting home, you can really move the football on their defense. And for the most part, the Bears did that. I wish they would have been a little bit more aggressive in the second half to keep the foot on the pedal and get more points on the board, more touchdowns on the board. But hey, nonetheless, the Bears come out of this game with a W. And at the end of the day, it's all about stacking wins. It's all about stacking W's. And the Bears improved to 3-2. And I can't be too mad at it. Bears win. I'm a happy man. That is all I have to say about this game. The Bears get a 20-9 win on a roll in Vegas. Make sure you guys leave this video a like. That does help this channel to grow, get more eyes on this channel, and we want to continue to grow over here. And comment your thoughts about the game below. What did you see? What do you think the Bears could improve on? Just leave all your thoughts about this Bears win in the comment section down below. I'll really read my comment section. I would love to see what you guys think. And if you've gotten to this point of the video, type in the comment section Justin Fields' first career touchdown, so I know you guys got to the end of this video. And click that subscribe button and notification bell so you not miss any single video that I post on this channel. But I am APW Sports Center. Now make sure you guys stay safe out there. Have a great, excellent day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bears win, bear down, peace.